Happy 2024. All right. I have a good feeling about 2024. We are going to have people in on Instagram as well. So let's check it out there. Let me know, where are you coming from? Put that in the chat box, and I'm going to try and answer as many questions as possible. Love answering questions on these shows here. Our topic is eating out at restaurants. Okay. So, of course, we have a bunch of details on this topic in the book. I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a pretty funny section in here about we're talking about how like Cyrus would interact with some people at restaurants, and Cyrus is a funny guy. So I should maybe see if I can find that part of the book. But that's our topic today. It's eating out. All right. We have Mumbai in the house. Excellent. Welcome. Also, we know what I'd love to see in the chat box. I love telling what type of diabetes are you living with, especially for, all like people watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, like what type of diabetes are you living with? Love to know that, and where are you coming from? So dining out, there's a couple key principles. Okay. A couple key principles. Number one is you got to plan. You got to make a plan. Okay. If you're going to go out to a restaurant with no plan, the chances of success are minimized. All right. So we have Super Sparkle Type 1, Type 2, Savvy. So the Instagram URLs are always kind of funny. We have Texas in the house. We have a daughter with Type 1 from Chicago. Modi. Excellent. We have a coach who's living with Modi. That's Linda. We have Type 1, Wendy on Instagram. We have on Facebook, we have Donna from Dallas. Excellent. All right. Excellent. Good to have you all with us. Now, we're talking about dining out. That's the topic today. We have Lada in the house. Welcome. Kay Weaver Shaw. Welcome. We have Type 1 since 8 years old. Welcome. Welcome. All right. So eating out at restaurants and following the Mastering Diabetes method. Okay. Paula says eating out is hard. I would say it is a challenge. It is a challenge, right? Eating healthy at restaurants in our typical, Western world is challenging, no question. But it's not something that you can't overcome. You definitely can overcome it, all right? We have Mid Wales. Excellent. Wonderful, wonderful. We've got people from all over the place. Good to have you with us. Ghost says Lada. It's hard to get accustomed to. We have Type 2 from Philadelphia. Glad to have you with us. All right. So when you're going to a restaurant in what's now 2024, pretty much every restaurant has their menu on the internet. Okay. I highly, highly suggest you know exactly what you're going to order before you step foot in the restaurant. Okay. Highly, highly recommend. So one strategy that could be utilized is eating food before you go. That is one of the best strategies. So you don't show up to the restaurant that doesn't have much great food for you, just starving, and you end up, eating something that you wish you hadn't eaten, right? Because you're just flat out starving. Okay. So a pre-meal. And you could eat that while you're driving in the car on the way to the restaurant. You could eat at home before you go to the restaurant. You could eat in your hotel room before you go to the restaurant, right? And it can be simple. Anna says pregame, 100%. We're pre-gaming here, okay? Debbie says, what if you're traveling? Traveling should be a whole separate show. But again, it just comes down to planning. It just comes down to planning. It's really like that simple. And when you do go to a restaurant, learning how to navigate the menu, right? How to look at all the various meals and then ask the chef to make a customized meal for you that includes ingredients that might be in multiple different meals is a great solution. Okay. It's a great solution. Now, there are certain types of restaurants. I should see if I can find this section of the book. There are certain types of restaurants that are better than others, right? When it comes to the type of food that you're going to be eating on the Mastering Diabetes methods. All right. Restaurants. Okay. 261 in the book. All right. 261. I'm going to put this phone up here. Here we go. 260. Let me see if I can find this funny section that I'm thinking of. All right. Eating at restaurants and cafes. Right there. Page 261. Okay. So strategy 1, pre-eat your dinner. We already went over that. Strategy number 1, pre-eat your dinner. It's a great, great strategy. Okay. Strategy number 2, order green light foods at the restaurant. All right. So this could be the funny one. So we have this whole section. We actually put a lot of time into this section, right? And we basically said how to locate all the various green light foods that you're going to find at restaurants. So starchy vegetables you'll find at restaurants. That's this section. How to locate beans, peas, and lentils on a menu. How to locate intact whole grains and decipher, hey, where are the good ones, where are the bad ones. How to locate leafy greens. How to locate non-starchy vegetables. And we put fruits last because you're not going to find that much great fruit at restaurants. You're just not. This is the truth. All right. Sometimes at a cafe, you might find some good fruit, but restaurants, slim pickings. Okay. So this is the funny section. How to communicate politely without being awkward. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. You're just going to be a little awkward. Okay. So there's a 4-step process here. And in step 3, it says explain your preferences are focused on eating plants, right? That's your goal. And there's a section that says feel free to also use the following statements or modify these as you see fit. It says, quote, I'm living with diabetes and I'm trying this new program to help me improve my diabetes health. If you can help me order a super simple meal, I would really, really appreciate it. That sounds like something I would say. Okay. Somebody might say, I don't eat dairy products, so please do your best to keep the cheese, butter, and cream sauce away from my dish. Here's another one. I love to eat plainly steamed vegetables, and I see you have a lot of them on the menu. I'd like a dish with blank. The biggest bowl, the better. Oil makes me feel terrible, so please keep the dressing on the side. I would really appreciate it. All right. There's some section where Cyrus jokes like, I like to eat like a monkey. Oh Lord. I feel like one day we should go to a restaurant and we should like record ourselves ordering. That'd be fun. Like that would be fun. I've thought about doing that. Okay. So that's the bottom line, guys. Can I cook my meal in your kitchen? Asking nicely. That's a good one, Justin. That's a good one. Hey, can I come back there and really make sure you're not going to be putting oil on this dish? Don't have your book, but not diabetic, just always trying to eat healthier. Okay, great. If you're looking to become more insulin sensitive or just understand the cause of insulin resistance, how you can reverse insulin resistance, this is a fantastic resource. It's the revolutionary method to reverse insulin resistance permanently. Okay. Trina has ordered the Decision Tree Journal. That's fantastic. The Decision Tree is a game changer, an absolute game changer. So definitely utilize that. Okay. We have Germany in the house. Good to have you here. We have Diane from Socrates, New York, type 2. Excellent. Glad to have you with us. All right. So what questions do you guys have about eating out at a restaurant? That's what I would love to answer in the chat box. What questions do you have? Borrowed the book from my library. Just checked it out. Excellent. Glad you got the book. Pretty much every library should have it. Should be no problem getting your hands on this book right here. Okay. So what's your biggest challenge when eating out? Have you found a great type of restaurant chain that you like? Like share some of those tips in the chat box. I mean, I've been doing this for 18 years now. I eat out plenty, right? Whether it's business gatherings, whether it's family gatherings, whether traveling, you can totally make it work. You can totally make it work. All right. Dining out is my worst nightmare. Portions too big. Hate to waste food. That's surprising to say that the portions are too big. I find that restaurant portions are too small. This is my smoothie bowl right here, which I'm still finishing. But somebody says I have PCOS and insulin resistance. This is a great resource. You can just Google Mastering Diabetes PCOS Ultimate Guide, and we have an entire article on what you can do about PCOS. We have a meal plan listed in there. All right. So let's see if there's any questions that have come up on Instagram. How do you order food at work dinner without making it a thing? Okay. We have that whole section in the book about this. This is from Julia. Now, one way to not make it a thing, which is something we talk about in the book, is pulling the waiter aside. Like, you can have the conversation, you can sort of like intercept the waiter separate from the table. So if you don't feel comfortable having the conversation that you would like to have in front of other people, go and find the waiter separately, right? Find the manager separately and have a one-on-one private conversation. That's a great way. It's a great way to handle it, you know? Let's see. Yeah, somebody was talking about the sodium on Instagram. We have a comment about the sodium content at restaurants. That is definitely a big problem of eating at restaurants. No question. Way too much sodium at restaurants. Okay. Problem with eating out is added oil. No question. So this is where doing research and finding like if you like eating out like as a thing and you want to do that as part of your life, then taking the time to really seek out local restaurants that can make meals that you enjoy is totally worth the effort. And there's going to be some hit or misses, right? You're going to hit some hits, some misses, right? It's not going to go well, and that's okay. It's part of the process. But you can totally do it. How do you eat healthy with diabetes and allergies? I have yet to find a restaurant that's suitable for both. You know, I mean, personally, I eat incredibly simply. So I personally find that I can eat at pretty much any restaurant because as long as they have lettuce and tomatoes on the menu, I'll actually be just fine. Jillian says she orders sides. Like, one of these questions had to do with a steakhouse. Steakhouses are one of the best places to eat. One of the absolute best places. Okay. So, because they have baked potatoes. That's why. That baked potatoes and some steamed vegetables could be a great insulin sensitizing meal. What would you eat if you were going to a dinner? So I always pre-eat. I use strategy number one that we have in the book. I eat my significant amount of calories and the stuff that makes me happy and satisfied and satiated, right? I eat that before I go. And then I order a meal at the restaurant that isn't, it's not meant to be calorie providing. It's just literally green lettuce and tomatoes. I will literally tell the waiter, hey, I just want this salad with only 2 ingredients, nothing added, no lemon, no salt, no oil, like nothing. I just want 2 ingredients. And I'm like, can you do that? And they're like, yes, we can do that. So, and believe it or not, you'd be shocked at how many times they mess that up. And I still send it back. I'm like, look, you added this, you added that. You can tell sometimes they pick things off of the top. And I'm like, if everything is already mixed, then I'll just order nothing, right? Like, if sometimes they've pre-made the salads, so then you got to go to plan B. And calling ahead of time could also help you handle the situation. So somebody on Instagram was asking, what do I do if I don't want to like sound awkward in front of my business colleagues or something? Well, you could call ahead of time and have everything sorted out before you even sit down at the table. And there's nothing to be said. And then the waiter comes across, you're like, hey, I'd already called in advance about, my meal. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, we got you taken care of. No problem. Okay, Gina, not really eating out question, but there's a lot of vegan meats. What would be okay with these products? So for us, what we do at Mastering Diabetes is we help people who want to truly maximize their insulin sensitivity. We help a population of people who are, committed to insulin sensitivity, who are trying to get out of a chronic disease, whether that's obesity. We have a Mastering Weight Loss coaching program, whether that's type 2 diabetes, and you're on medications, you have high blood pressure, like you have a chronic condition and you're looking to get out of it. Like this is a healing approach. This is a restorative approach. This isn't like let's just, some teenager that has no issues and they're just trying to like maintain what is already good. So because of that, we don't recommend processed, meats, these new plant-based processed foods, they're not the ideal solution for becoming insulin sensitive. Could they be better than something else? Sure, right? Food isn't about like good or bad. It's sort of about like better or like good, better, best type of energy, right? Like compared to what? So could some of these plant-based meats, if that's like the option that you're opting for, would that be better than maybe having just like a steak or something? Yeah. Well, even that might be debatable, but would it be better than having, like some McDonald's cheeseburger or something? Like, of course, right? So, but we're really moving towards like, why don't we have a plant-based burger made of beans, right? Why don't you do like there's all kinds of any type of food you could think of: pizza, burritos, soups, stews, ice cream, like whatever, anything you could think of, you could make in a very, very healthy, clean mastering diabetes way. There's no question. So totally doable. So many places put fat in everything, even all the dressing. So I bring a low-fat salad. Excellent. I love that. I love that. Putting a little dressing in a little small container in a bag and bringing it with you, totally cool. Ordering food at Italian and seafood restaurants are a challenge for me. Italian restaurants, yeah, it can be a challenge. But, this is something we do in our coaching program, right? If people in our coaching program, there's a high level of accountability, right? So we will look at menus together, and somebody will be like, yeah, I have a business meeting. I'm flying to Idaho next week. I got a business meeting. We're going to go to this particular steakhouse. I mean, in the coaching program, we'll look at that menu together, and we will literally plan exactly what to order and how to communicate. And if we want to practice, you want to role play, that's something we would do in the program. So it's really about planning. It's about preparation. Is fried, what is your take on cheat meals on occasion? I would say it depends on your goals. It depends on your goals. What are you calling a cheat meal? Personally, I don't find that that's necessary in my life. I've chosen to live a lifestyle that I have no desire to have to like cheat from. Like the lifestyle is the cheat. Like when I'm having an amazing fruit breakfast, it's so good, it's so delicious, it feels like I'm cheating. You know what I mean? Like that's the energy I'm going for. So I don't have a desire. The desire is to eat what's on the program, right? So that's my that's what we're trying to do here. Like we are so focused on helping people find meals and recipes that they love that you just don't feel like you want to leave it. Like you don't want to like, it's not a sacrifice. It's not like unsatisfactory. Like it's literally like, we want you to be excited for every meal. And I feel that way. I know it's possible. And I know a lot of people do that in our program. So somebody says, is alcohol or beer okay? We don't recommend it, right? So I should pull up that section of the book. But if there's no health professionals that I'm aware of that are saying if you have a chronic disease and you're trying to get better, that you should add alcohol in order to improve your health outcomes. That's silly. It's absolutely silly. So there's much better options for drinking. Is fried food or bread bad for diabetes? Fried food is not a good idea. There's different degrees of bread. There's healthier bread, and then there's sort of like more garbage bread. If you're gonna have like some Ezekiel bread, that's a better option. It's still a yellow light food, but having Ezekiel bread can be a big part of your journey of becoming more insulin sensitive. No question about it. Also depends on what your weight loss goals are. There's really not very many black and white answers to a lot of these questions. There are guidelines. We have green light, yellow light, and red light foods, all listed in the book. But for you specifically, there's nuanced details, and that's why we have personalized coaching. All right, so once your taste buds adjust, it's amazing. I agree, Carrie. Absolutely agree. Like, I don't have them behind me. I recently went to a farm and I got a bunch of bananas and I got like, I think 6 different varieties. And I got to taste them while I was at the farm and all that stuff. And I was just like so overwhelmed in the best way possible of how delicious these fruits were. My experience was just, it was just fantastic. And I'm thinking like, part of the reason this is so sensational for me is because my taste buds are alive. Like I can really, really taste a profound difference between the Kandrian banana and the Zaba banana, the Mysore and the Namwa, the apple and the red banana. Like there is a distinct difference because my taste buds are so alive and because I haven't been like, overpowering my taste buds. Like when you are eating processed foods full of tons of salt and oil and added sugar, you're basically like you're screaming at your taste buds. You're just like yelling at them. Like and your ability to then taste natural things is very much diminished, very much diminished. And so I just wish nothing more than for people to be able to really, really get to experience the true flavor that nature is providing in us in these whole foods. So do want to let you guys know that right after this show, you in 6 minutes, you can be able to join Stephanie, I believe. I think Stephanie's over there doing that show. She's going to be making a smoothie with Amla Green. Okay. In the chat box, let me know, have you had Amla Green? Like yes or no. This is the world's most antioxidant-rich whole food. I use the hibiscus. This is the hibiscus one. I consume this every day, right? And this one has organic hibiscus, organic amla berries, organic ginger roots, organic cinnamon bark, and organic mint leaf. That's it. So that's the only ingredients in here. No additives. I go with the caffeine-free version. That's what this is. There's no caffeine in here. And if you want caffeine, you can get that. We have an option for green tea. If you're a coffee drinker, we have an option for that as well. So we got options, but you can go and watch on the Amla Green channel, green smoothie. All right. So I highly recommend this. You just learn more. Just Google Amla Green and you'll learn more. Dina says, I check the menu ahead of time. I jot down on a piece of paper what I want from the menu that I can eat at the restaurant. I hand my piece of paper. Wow, that's good, Dina. Fantastic. I like that. I really like that. Then there's really no miscommunication. Then they can just hand the piece of paper to the chef. That's a good one. I struggle to keep weight on now. Should I just try to eat more calories in volume or high fat? First off, as I want to make it clear, we always recommend you work with qualified medical professionals. So if you're struggling to keep weight on, there could be something going on. It's possible. I'm not trying to be like an alarmist or something, but like there could be something that might be a bigger deal. And getting the right tests and working with a medical professional to figure out why you can't keep weight on is good. And maybe with that appointment with a medical doctor, they'll be able to conclude that, oh yes, actually you're just not eating enough. Here's some strategies to help you with that. We are part of the Love Life family. So Love Life Telehealth, those are the best doctors on the planet, and they'll see you virtually anywhere in the country. Okay. So does high stress have a link with high stress? Definitely. There's definitely research on stress linking to higher blood glucose levels. I talked about this on a different show yesterday. I think the thing to pay attention to is how are you handling the stress? Is stress leading to stress eating? Is the stress leading to less exercise, less movement? Like, how is it impacting your lifestyle behaviors? So that's important. All right. Okay, guys, we got to wrap this up. We have, go over to the Amla Green channel for that show. It was good to have you all with us. Happy New Year. Let's make 2024 amazing. If you're interested in learning more about the coaching program, just go to our website, masteringdiabetes.org. You can book a free discovery call and we'll talk to you, see if you're a good fit, see if we can help you. You can get the book wherever books are sold. You can listen to our audiobook on Audible, on Google Play, wherever you listen to your audiobooks. You can actually listen to our audiobook for free on Spotify. If you have a Spotify subscription, you can now listen to audiobooks for free. I think you get like 15 hours a month or something. And our book is not 15 hours long. So Definitely check that out. So have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next week.